Woof. And so, yeah, hey, here we are for a 5G enhanced live stream. 5G enhanced because I had where is it? I had it come off when I was changing shirts. No, it's up really high. There it is. My Bill Gates 5G enhanced injection, aka COVID vaccination. Yay, that's me. Phase 1 of vaccination. We'll see what comes next. Phase 2, I think, in 2 weeks. We'll see also if I have any effects over the coming days. I may be just a slightly little bit off now. Nothing much, but maybe just a little bit off, a little bit queasy. I don't know. It's so mild it could be my imagination. We'll see how the night goes and how tomorrow goes, because it's when a lot of people talk about getting very flu-like symptoms. So we will see. Yes, and Fox will be hoping for no blood blots. Like less than 1 in 100,000 chance of me getting some sort of complication. So we'll maintain that. So, and by the way, yes, hello, Toby, Fox, Miguelich, hello. So I might not have much energy tonight, in fact. Might not last the usual amount of time I last. Then again, I might. Who knows? It's a wild and crazy world, and anything can happen. Although I don't think I will be drinking any alcohol tonight. Because, well, just because, really. I'm definitely a little bit spaced. I'm a little bit spaced and a little bit funny. Fox may not last the usual time, giggity. I definitely don't think I'd do sexy times at the moment. I might be a bit off. Toby, this is just the orange mango soda I got. It's this thing for my soda stream. I just made it with soda. It's really nice. If it's in a booze drinking mood, I think that'd go really well with rum. It's got a really nice tropical flavor. It'd probably go really well with some rum whacked in there. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm definitely spaced out. I am definitely spaced out. Oh. Okay, so I'm trying to think, are there any fun national days next week? Okay, starting the 24th. Fuck, there's not that much left in May. Okay. National Yucatan Shrimp Day. Good Lord. Brother Day, Scavenger Hunt Day, Missing Children Day. It's a bit... Wine Day. Well, fuck that. Airplane Day. Grape Popsicle Day. That is extremely specific. Grape pop. I'm having trouble with words. I haven't been drinking. Toby, hello to Celtic King. Cellophane Tape Day, Jesus. Beef Burger Day, Brisket Day, Hamburger Day. Well, fuck me. May the 28th. Which day of the week is that? Friday. Well, next Friday I'm going to clearly have to pick out on burgers. It's Burger Day. Cock o' Vin Day. Water of Flower Day. Right. I'm playing a little bit of, as in replaying a little bit of Far Cry 5 before I came on. So I got all this redneck music in my head, which, not bad. All right, where am I up to? 20 something. Double check what date's Monday, the 24th. 24th. Asparagus Day. Escargot Day. Whit Monday. Sing Out Day. Wine Day, that came up again. Looking at another website, by the way. Surrey Day for Australia on the 26th. When's that? I don't want to do a drink about that. I think that'd be in bad taste. But next Wednesday's... No, I don't stream on Wednesdays. Fuck me. Jesus, I'm all over the shop. Lindy Hop Day. Fuck off. I'm not logging into your fucking website. Burger Down Friday. Learn about composting day. Fuck me. Put a pillow on your fridge day. What the fuck? Mint Julep Day. That's on Sunday. I might do a mint julep. What's the other one? The one that actually has the drinks on it. Drink days. I'm well tripping. Megaleech finished Subnautica Below Zero. Oh, yeah, okay. This is another of my shirts. I'm fashion parading. This is another abstract one. This is interesting because this has got sort of shades of brown and then these little bits of colour on it, which I quite like. This is another one of just the abstract sort of pop art type designs on it, which I quite like. All right. So what are we up to? 18th of May. We just had Cocktail Day and Whiskey Day. There's Wine Day. Mint Julep Day is the next one. Okay. Right, so I still don't know what I'm going to do for cocktails next week. Maybe something random. I might do a milk clarified porn star martini for Milk Punch Monday because porn star martinis are bizarrely popular around the world and people are always searching for it. So, hey, if I have a few porn star variants on my YouTube channel, I get some random hits from that. It's weird. I'm definitely just a bit spaced out at the moment. Nothing severe, but just a bit spaced out. I have to decide. Oh, there's a theme thing. These guys who do cocktail challenges on YouTube got to do a flower themed one. So I think I'll do that next week. Oh, sorry, I got an itch right in the middle of my back. Why is that always the way? It's like right at the hardest to reach bit, you get an itch. Ugh. All right. I'm gonna come up with a good flower cocktail. Got elderflower liqueur. What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm so fucked. Flower, dried meadow flower, cane flower cocktail, elderflower martini, elderflower mojito, Jalisco flower. These are all. Okay, what's a cane flower? Cachaça, Aperol, and elderflower. Ooh, that actually sounds fucking good. And I just have to do a flower garnish as well. And I think I know what I want to do for that. So I might do that, a cane flower. Because what I'm tempted to do, it says cachaça, which is actually, Okay, so cachaça is yeah, it's a kind of rum, but I actually have a rum called Flor de Cana, which is French for cane flower. Maybe I should make it with that. Flor de Cana, Aperol, and elderflower. That kind of makes sense, really. Justin, how am I feeling after the vaccine? Slightly weird, slightly off, slightly trippy. So I may not have the energy to do this whole stream, but I may just, not make that much sense. I'm struggling for words, so it's like I'm drunk, and I'm not. I haven't had any alcohol. I'm not intending to have any alcohol because I think that will just complicate things, and I'd rather not complicate things. So yeah, I find myself struggling for words. And I'm speaking slowly and enunciating, which is a thing Mrs. Angry tells me I do when I'm drunk. You're and I guess if I got drunk enough, I'd do that. But when I get drunk, without being like shit-faced paralytic drunk, I tend to slow down my talking and enunciate really carefully, overcompensating for the fact I am drunk. So vaccine is making me a little bit. Justin, you're getting Pfizer. Okay, yeah, I got Astra Zeneca today. And so I guess I get my second dose of Astra Zeneca in about 2 weeks. Drinking a sweet drink is really fucking satisfying. I like that. Okay, so that's the one I'm probably going to make for the flower cocktail, the cane flower cocktail. The Jalisco flower. I thought it'd be tequila and elderflower, topped with grapefruit juice and champagne. For some reason, well, okay, I don't really like champagne, and I also think it's cheating when you top a cocktail with champagne. Elderflower martini. Vodka, and Jesus. That's 3 shots. 2 different sorts of vodka, elderflower, and vermouth. Whereas fuck vodka for a joke. I'd make it with gin. Maybe with 2 different sorts of gin. Who knows? I'm having fun just by putting flower in the search on a cocktail site and seeing what comes up. It's a dried meadow flower. Tequila, elderflower, gentian, lemon juice, topped with soda. I'd do the rest. That's got a fair whack. It's got 1.5 shots of tequila, a shot of elderflower, half a shot of gentian. So that's 3 shots of booze, topped with soda. Need to get some Cappy sodas. I like Cappy sodas. I'm definitely vague. I am most definitely vague. Comte de Sirop, gin, elderflower, and Italian red bitter liqueur. It's pretty colour. Elderflower Negroni. Okay. Good Lord. Oh, yep. So sorry if I'm just gonna vague out tonight. Let's see how I go. Oh, yes. Well, hopefully no one's expecting too much from me at work tomorrow because they might not get a lot out of me at work tomorrow. Try their luck, I suppose. But I did tell them that I'd got it, and I'd update them tomorrow. So there's this one: gin, orange liqueur, elderflower, lemon juice, and a splash of absinthe. It's called a sunflower. I like the sound of that too. Probably going to do the cane flower though. The cane flower sounds good. Nice and simple too. So many drinks with flower in the name. A flower highball. Scotch and elderflower. There you go. So that's a slight twist on a whiskey highball because they say to top it with soda. Safflower. What's a safflower? Elderflower, orange juice, lime juice, orange bitters. That's a low alcohol drink, really. God, I am so vaguing. Hi, Annette. Yes, I'm feeling weird. I'm already apologizing for the vaguing out I'm doing, but I don't feel terrible yet because some people have said, like really serious flu-like symptoms. Like the one that weirded me out is the people who got shivers and they just like they couldn't stop. They were shaking uncontrollably. I'm hoping it doesn't get any worse than now that I feel vaguely weird and vaguely off. But yeah, people say all sorts of things like headaches and fevers and my heart. I can't tell if I'm hot. Headaches and fevers and cramps and nothing. Some people have like no side effects. I maybe have the tiniest headache or the hint of a headache, the warning of a headache, rather than an actual headache. So I'm hoping it doesn't get any worse. What's a whiskey flower? Scotch, elderflower. Okay, so that's a whiskey sour with elderflower in it. They say to use an Islay peated malt, which I don't have, but I could use my smoky Australian whiskey. So Justin, you're doing it on the weekend in case you get some funny side effects. Yeah. So Annette, you've had yours, had a kind of fever, the shivers and muscle pain. Fine for 9 hours, then boom, it hit. Okay, well, we have to see how the night treats me because I had the jab at about 2:00 this afternoon, somewhere around 2:00 this afternoon. So that's what, 6 hours ago now, and no big effects yet. And good evening, Greg. Just talking about my vaccine. It's very interesting when I was there. Just before getting it, I was getting this real sort of surge. It wasn't really apprehension; it was more excitement. But it was this real sort of surge of adrenaline just in the lead up to getting it, and then I just felt relaxed and relieved after getting it. Like it's been such a build up for such a long time to getting a fucking vaccine. Very much looking forward to getting the second one and knowing that then there's basically zero chance of me getting seriously ill. You could definitely still contract the Rona, but based on millions upon millions upon millions of doses handed out around the world, it's very effective against you developing serious illness. Like you can get infected, but you don't get serious illness, which is, a major fucking relief, because serious Rona is serious. Oh, you've done that, Net? The whiskey sour with elderflower? I'm torn between it, because there's a challenge on YouTube for a flower-themed cocktail. And the two I found that I like the sound, I do like the sound of the whiskey flower. The other one's called cane flower, because you make it with rum and elderflower. But this actually just here is just for Aperol. Because that's just really different. This is adapted from a recipe created in 2009 by Jeffrey Morgenthaler. Morgenthaler's original recipe called for a generous twist of lemon rather than orange. Inspired by a gorgeous cocktail created by a good friend, Gonzalo de Souza Monteiro, the Comte de Siro. So that's inspired by the Comte de Siro, which I looked at as well. What's the difference in that? That's gin, elderflower, and Italian red bitter. It's supposed to put an orange zest, and I do like an orange zest twist in a drink, so maybe I'll get an orange when I make that. Shieldsy, 99%, much better tonight. Excellent. Yes, Justin, I feel weird because my body's making antibodies. It's all very busy. And hello, Safa and Kirsten. Yes, this is all I'm talking about, Safa. I feel slightly weird. I don't feel sick. I feel slightly off. And it's like I'm mildly dizzy. It's like I'm mildly drunk, in all seriousness. It's like I'm mildly drunk. I feel a little dizzy, just a little bit off. And every now and then I struggle for words. In other words, like I'm a bit drunk. Kirsten, I'm glad you dropped in, because I need the down low, because I got the email today about Archie Rose's new bottled cocktails, and I have to admit, conceptually, I'm sold on them. They all sound good. Kind of tempted to get them all. But the main one, besides getting a general rundown, which of the bottles cocktails you recommend, the main one I was interested in, the bitter one. See, I can't fucking find words. Negroni, the new Groni. How bitter is the new Groni? Because I know you don't like Campari. I don't like Campari. Is it gross like Campari, or is it milder than that? Shieldy, the beast thing. I literally didn't feel a fucking thing with the actual injection. It's a little bit achy around the injection site now, and I feel a bit weird, but that's okay. Oh, nice, Safa. Your mum's had a second Astra and she's fine. Justin, I could drive now, but I would err on the side of caution not to. I drove a bit earlier this afternoon, took young Mizangri to the train station because I was feeling okay. I feel less like that would be a good idea now. So, Safi, you think phase 1B, going to wait for Pfizer or Moderna? Well, you're young and healthy, and there's no virus in circulation, so I don't think you're in any rush. Just, I think it was a very good idea for me to get it. So I'm going to go. Now look at these cocktails. New Archie Rose bottled cocktails. I'm definitely getting at least one. I'm mildly tempted to get them all. So, Kirsten, you're saying your favorite is the Tempest. The Tempest. The description of the Tempest. For new bottled cocktails, creative drinks manager Rocky Hare has imagined a futuristic world, 4 different dimensions. So the Tempest, tropical high pressure of a dark and stormy meets its nemesis, the low pressure tiki zombie. Tempest is born. Powerful vortex blends Archie-Rose white rye, pineapple, passion fruit, pink grapefruit, spice lime, pomegranate, and falernum, which sounds fucking awesome. That just sounds really good. Safa, Kirsten's my advisor. Well, you're going to try. Okay, yes, you try them and report back, Kirsten, because I think we have a similar opinion of Negronis, as in fuck that. Because Campari is way too bitter. But this is described: the Negroni is all that survives when all other drinks have demised. Last survivor in a singular industrial megacity, this variation of the classic Negroni is instilled with smoke, grit, and determination. Fortified with distiller's strength gin, classic bitters, and sweet vermouth. This cocktail prefers last of nature's pears, tainted by the city's smouldering ashes. So I could absolutely go smoking that, because when it just says classic bitters, I'm a fan of bitters. I'm just not a fan of fucking Campari. Safa, well, I'm working from home tomorrow. We'll see. I think I have 1 or 2 meetings tomorrow. We'll see how much sense I can make talking to people. Yeah. Because maybe I'll be fine. Maybe I'll be like this, which is okay, but a little bit. Maybe I'll just be, oh God, I've got the shivers. I'd have to be pretty bad to tell them I'm sick, because I'm working from home. What the fuck do they know? But yeah, like I said, I do have to talk to people tomorrow. So if I'm not capable of talking to people, then oosh. Well, that sounds like fun, Kirsten. Always experiments in the fridge. I worked for National Foods years ago. They make yogurt and flavored milks, and there was always experiments in the fridge, like new flavors. You could go into the experimental lab and try new flavors. And there was always 3 yogurts in the fridge, which was good. Saffron, not so much under the weather, just feeling a bit, just a bit vague. Just a bit vague. We'll see how that goes, because could get worse, could stay the same, could get better. Yeah, Shields, it could be a countdown to a man flu. Just feeling like I've got the flu. So we shall see how the day progresses. Oh, yes, Safra, I'm definitely not drinking any alcohol tonight. Probably won't tomorrow either. I know tomorrow. It's only you people who make me drink alcohol. I only drink on the streams. That's not strictly true. I drink if I go out. But yeah, tomorrow night will be a viewing night with Mrs. Angry anyway, and I usually don't drink then. But I'm not drinking tonight. That's just too big a risk of just making myself real sick. And I'd rather not get real sick. So taking it easy tonight, and just seeing how long it'll last on the live stream. Safi, you can take COVID shot Thursday, 2 weeks from flu. Yeah, I just passed 2 weeks from my flu shot, so I didn't want to muck around. So I wanted to do it today because Mrs. Angry's just going into work on Tuesdays now. So I thought, okay, I'll go in on Tuesday, and hey, I'll get my COVID shot on Tuesday. And because it's boring without Mrs. Angry here at home. So I But I might as well go into the office if she's going into her office. That was the same as why I got the flu thing last Tuesday, because they, Mrs. Angrazay said I'd go out and get a flu shot. So I have a soft drink I'm drinking. It's this Soda Stream one. I might make some more of it, actually. Orange mango drink mix with natural flavors, 0 sugar. It's really nice. It's artificially sweet, but it's sweet, and I just like having something sweet at the moment. I am really baggy. I had 2 little slices of pizza, tonight, because young Mr. Angry made a pizza, and it smelled really good. So I had a little bit. I'm not super hungry. I think I want to eat a corn chip. There's a new flavor of corn chip that is my new favorite. What do I do? I think, I'm a bit vague. Lemonhead having a strong bow. Nice. Nice, Safa. You two put a COVID banner under my stream. Good. Because too many people are talking bullshit about it. So when people mention COVID, they should do something that points to actual real facts. Actual real facts is I got my vaccine today. Yeah. And I'm feeling just a little bit weird. Not sick yet. Don't have a fever yet. Hopefully I won't get sick. Won't have a fever. Won't get those flu-like symptoms. If I don't feel any different to just vegan weird like I do now, I call that a win. It's kind of how I felt last time I got serious vaccinations. It's when I was going to the Pacific, like Philippines. I had to get all these exotic vaccinations. It's like 10 things I had to be vaccinated against. And I was a bit fucking trippy on the following day at work. Yes, Safa, by Thursday I should know one way or the other if I'm feeling any effects. If I am feeling any effects tomorrow, I'm just going to take it easy. And by all accounts, I would be very unlucky if I was still feeling any effects on Thursday. Yes, Lemonheads. You don't want to get hungover and try and blame it on the vaccine, so I'm just not drinking any alcohol tonight. Just seems like a bad idea. All right. I am going to make some more fizzy drink. So I need to fill this with water. Okay, up we get. Wandering across the kitchen. Clean. All right, water dispenser. Dispense me water. Oh, fuck. This will just take a second. It's like some pissing ASMR at the moment. Now, this next sound's not quite ASMR because it's a little bit harsh. But we'll go over here. And carbonate. It's my carbonator. It's not a soda stream, it's a competitor. See that? I think I should put some things on it to make it look like a Dalek. And then instead of saying exterminate, I could just say carbonate. Yes, I think that's funny. Matt, hello. You might witness me melting into a chair because I'm a bit weird. I'm feeling a bit funny. So I have no idea how long I'm going to last. Very mild effects I'm feeling at the moment. quite similar to being mildly drunk, in that I feel a bit vague and a bit just very slightly dizzy, and I occasionally really struggle to find words. Oh God, your swampy front yard's still giving you grief, Shieldsy, but slowly drying out. Well, that is a plus that you're getting a bit better. Do you usually get much rain in winter? I don't know what the weather patterns are like in your part of the world, if winters are dry or wet. We've been getting a little bit of rain around here. No real storms or anything yet. Isn't it an awesome color? It's a really sort of fucking nuclear glow color, this orange mango. So I think I want that. Fizz, fizz. Fizz, 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 fizz. Whiz, fizz. You get fog. That's interesting. We get fog sometimes too. Sometimes really quite dense fog. All right, now one more thing to distract me, and I'll sit down. Oh, this live stream sponsored by 3 Cheese Fiesta CCs. Wish they'd sponsor me. These are my new favorite. They're good. Women had vague and struggling to find words. That is a bit normal for us. It's just mild. It's just like being mildly drunk. Oh, certainly don't have a lot of energy at the moment. Like I don't have a lot of get up and go. I don't feel like super motivated or focused or anything like that. Just sort of struggling through. Cheese baked on, cheese on top for more flavor. Well, they're not lying. Unsolicited promo for CC's. Yeah, I'm going to the doctor on Thursday. Follow up for my sleep study, where I find out the result of my sleep study, where they're going to say like, you like can't breathe properly when you sleep. So no, I can't sleep on my back. Lying on my back in bed is really relaxing, and I probably prefer to sleep on my back. But it just get to the relaxation point, and goes, and I wake up. I wake myself up with a snore. I can sleep on my side, and apparently, just even with the weight loss so far, I don't snore, or I don't snore badly. So that's a huge fucking plus. But I'd like to be able to sleep on my back, which I can't at the moment. Nobody, good evening to you, sir. So I don't know if the doctor's going to say I should have a CPAP machine. Okay. I just realised this should be on a charger, which I think is over there. It's over there. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't feel sick. I don't feel bad. It's like everything's like, God, that's a fucking effort, isn't it? That's a fucking effort. Chelsea, Brisbane's on a floodplain, mountains to the south, Great Divide to the west, fog gets trapped. Matt, sometimes wake up and feel paralyzed, can't breathe for a good while. Oh my God. Is that from sleep apnea, Matt? Or you're possessed by demons? What is that? More ASMR, this time crunching. Yeah. So, yeah, no one told me the sleep study didn't work. So I hope I'm not going to the referring doctor just to hear, oh, the sleep study didn't work and you have to do it again. Oh, yeah, no, lemon heads. That's one of the things with sleep apnea, literally stopping breathing. So it's like, and there's a strong body of evidence that there's long-term health risks to that. So, yeah, hopefully we have a fix for that. And it could be as simple as if I keep losing weight, it'll be fine. But I'll be interested in what the doctor says if he says I should have a sleep apnea machine or something. Because like I said, I'd like to sleep on my back because I like lying on my back. It's very relaxing. But I can't sleep on my back because as soon as I get that relaxation just at the point of falling asleep, it's like something closes up my throat and it's just a bit rough. Nobody, you re-recorded Hateful Head recently. I haven't made a new video, but you probably will because the old one's crap. Oh, well, cool. Glad you're getting into it, man. Give you a little project. Shows you sleeping deep, but on your damn arms, always dead in the morning. Oh, and yeah, no, I have to be careful. If I sleep well, if I put my arm like that, my shoulder will be so fucked in the morning. So yeah, and yes, I think we all get cranky if we don't get a good night's sleep, Safa. And yes, Matt, you should get that thing looked up. That waking up thing is scary. You should get that. Yeah, you should get that looked at, definitely. Oh yeah, nobody. You've shared the link with me with Hateful Head before. Oh, I have an idea for a really fiddly pseudo animated video. It's probably just going to sit in my head for a while, and then I'm going to play with it. Like I'm making something probably deliberately more fiddly than it has to be. Hasni, could Matt have sleep paralysis? Sounds different to that, but certainly something that should be looked at. Nobody, don't know how many guys watched Anxiety, but did far better mix. Oh, well, it's interesting you're doing a new one, like a redoing the old one. We'd have a little project. Oh, yes, Annette, AIDSy updates. I did, in fact, talk to AIDSy today, and he's still being worked on by physios. I think, from what he said, they've got him sort of walking upstairs. He's got the stage where he can walk up 30 stairs now. And they're telling him in order to get released, he has to be able to walk up 60 stairs 3 times. So he's clearly a ways off that. And also he's not healing. Like he ended up in hospital because he had a fall, and he's had a fall in hospital too. And his circulatory system seems to be packing it in, basically. Just another one of his body systems packing it in, because he's getting really like exceptionally bad bruising that's not healing. Like all the blood vessels are just fucked and broken. I think he's got one on his leg and one on his arm from a fall. Yeah, they're not happy about that either. Yes, nobody's telling you about having falls in front of hospital staff. It's not just that; it's the fact that he's not healing from them as well. So yeah. Matt, sleep paralysis when you see demons at the bed hallucinate. sleep paralysis is normally your eyes are open and you're conscious of what you can see, but you can't move. I've heard the explanation for it. It's your brain doing something fucked to you. Like the bits of the brain that help you see are awake. The bits of the brain that help you move your body are asleep. And it's quite a panic-inducing experience because you're aware but you can't move. And with some people, and again, it's because of limited vision and because of the stress of it, some people do essentially have hallucinations from it. Annette, you've had nice terrors. It was terrifying. That's why we call them night terrors. People with sleep paralysis often wake up screaming because it's so stressful and you're freaking out. But for a long time, you can't say anything or move stuff. And so when your brain's trying to force the scream, and so when more bits of your body finally wake up, you just wake up screaming. Not good. Not good at all. Oh. Yeah, nobody. You're right. The night terrors. You don't want to wish that on anyone. But yeah, it's the thing is being conscious or partly conscious, but not being able to control your body induces terror in most people because it's just fucking wrong, and you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. You know it's fucked up. It feels like you're in a situation that you should be in control of, but you're not in control of it, and that's why it's often been represented in art and literature as people start to feel like the reason they can't get up, that they can't move, is because there's some demon or whatever sitting on their chest, and that's the night terror. But it's literally just the part of your brain that opens your eyes is awake, and you can see and you can experience sensory input. But the part of your brain that helps you move your body and move your head and speak is not awake. Matt, it might be that. Your eyes don't open, but you're fully aware. Yeah, that feeling of paralysis while being conscious is reasonably common, actually. Lemonheads, night terrors are like being awake but freaking out. Used to happen to you as a kid, maybe too much Nirvana. Maybe. I think the main reason for night terrors comes from sleep paralysis, because you're going through all this stuff and your stress goes through the roof. So because you think something's controlling your body and it's not you, and then you wake up screaming. And a lot of people find it very hard to believe and trust that everything's okay now, because there was this whole period where this scary shit was happening and you had no control over what was happening. And so a lot of people, they don't trust that they're now conscious and can control things. I had a very minor thing of sleep paralysis that I remember once. I've told this story before, but it was after the fact I realized what had happened. I was lying in bed. I was lying on my back, and it was like there was some strange misty tunnel ahead of me, and I couldn't move through it. It was really weird. And I started to freak out and saying, I should be able to move. I should be able to move. And I realized, and then I became conscious that I was in bed and this was a dream, and it would be okay if I could just get to the light switch and switch the light on. Then everything would be okay. And it was this superhuman effort to move because I didn't feel like I could move. There's a superhuman effort to move. It was a relatively small room I was living in, and just get out of bed and get across the room and hit the light switch. And the instant I hit the light switch, it was like snap, and I was back in bed and this tunnel thing in front of me. And that jolted me into consciousness. I hadn't got out of bed and switched on the light. It was part of this sort of waking dream that I thought I'd got out of bed and switched on. But the moment I hit the light switch, it was like snap, back in bed. And then I realized what happened, because I was sleeping with a mosquito curtain and it was catching street light through my bedroom window. And the mosquito net catching the street light was this misty tunnel I saw ahead of me. And then I realized, fuck me, my eyes were open. I could see the mosquito net. So I was there with my eyes open, but wasn't really conscious of what was happening. And my open eyes were feeding this dream into my brain. And it was really weird. And I've had friends who had that almost every night or many, many nights. And it's not good. Annette, you had a thing, turning on the light made it disappear. Woke in the middle of the night with your dream still going on after you open your eyes. Sure, there's a man in the room, but you weren't paralyzed. You could turn on the light and that made it go away. Yeah. Nobody. The thing you watch about night terror suggests the person suffering them would be living out some kind of nightmare. Actually very dangerous for the sufferer and people around them. Quite possibly. Hasn't it sounds like a decent DMT trip, maybe. But I really only had that once that I can remember. I had a friend who was telling me she had it so bad when she was a kid. This is weird because she was Jewish and her parents were very religious, and because she was just waking up screaming and people couldn't move her, she'd be in bed screaming and she'd still have the sleep paralysis. She couldn't move, but she could scream. And they were always going into a room trying to comfort her, and she'd be really rigid and wouldn't respond to the person who was trying to comfort her. And parents were really religious and started to believe she was possessed. And it was a while before she got a medical diagnosis. Oh no, she's suffering from sleep paralysis. And I think there was medications that can help with it. So nobody, anyone had dreams of starting to fly involuntarily but being afraid of heights? Your brain's strange. That sounds reasonably common. I often have the flying thing. I remember dreams. I remember this a lot. The dreams of flying. I could fly by doing like this pedaling motion with my legs. Like I was riding a bike, and if I did it really hard, I could fly. And I had to keep doing it to fly. I don't remember having that for a while, but I remember that as a recurring dream. Annette, you love flying dreams. Lemonhead, you have a night terror every night. There's a man in your room. Your fiance. Turns out it's all true. One of my favorite comics, The Sandman, it was a big run in the 90s. Thing that made Neil Gaiman famous. He wrote Sandman. About Lord of Dreams, The Sandman, Morpheus. And in one of the stories, he's actually taken someone through their dream. And he's like, flying across the dream realm, carrying her. And she's going, well, this is pretty cool. He said, hey, I read, I think it was Freud said, dreams about flying are really dreams about sex. And the Sandman goes, really? So what are dreams about sex then? So, which I thought was a good line, actually. And that's finally getting turned into a TV series. Probably won't be on TV for another 2 years. It's probably really quite complex to put it together. But that could run for years because there were like a lot of issues of the Sandman. Could run for a lot of years. Apparently there's a like radio drama done recently with a big name cast that was very favorably received. And then the TV version's been done by totally different people with a totally different cast. Like the actual Sandman Dream was voiced by James McAvoy, I think, in this radio drama. Guy's done heaps of stuff. Most of he's like young Professor X in the X-Men movies. Nobody, you heard dreams of flying are usually related to wanting to escape circumstances. Maybe. You'll ever had dreams of flying on Friday night after what you did to it? Well, the liver is evil and must be punished. So Nate, your one, you could fly by doing breaststroke in the air. That sounds plausible. Just swimming through the air. Henry Dar, greetings to you in Mackay, Queensland, Australia. One of several Queenslanders in the stream, in fact. Although I think you're the furthest north in Mackay. So, yes, people coming from all over. So, yeah, Christ, I'm still vague. I'm a little, I guess tired is the right word. Like, I'm not like sleepy tired. It's just like, I'm a little bit exhausted. A little bit. Henry, you win the northernmost competition. I believe you do. But yes, at least northernmost on the Australian continent. So, I feel like Henry, I am fucking spaced out. I had my COVID vaccine today. I'm spaced out. I'm definitely, a lot of people talked about getting brain fog from it. I'm definitely spaced out. I'm a little bit tired, like exhausted tired, not sleepy tired. And a friend of yours got strange tiredness, hot for a night, not sexy hot. Oh, I see. That was a bad typo. And you're definitely sexy hot. Your friend wasn't sexy hot. Nice, Henry, in the heart of Pauline Hanson territory and Bob Catter territory up that way. Not necessarily exactly where you are, but in the Great North. Weirdville, anyway. Yeah, a lot of people talk about fevers and chills and basically flu symptoms. It's like your body's going into overdrive with antibodies. Like, well, what's this stuff that's in it? I'm going to make a bunch of fucking antibodies. And yeah, one of the things your body does if it feels that there's an infection it can fight is raise your temperature, give you a fever. That's how your body kills a bunch of bad things that get into your body by raising the temperature. And the various intruders can't survive. But your body can, of course, take that way too far and fucking kill you with a fever, which is weird. You'd reckon there'd be some natural breaks. Again, I want to get, that makes me want to talk about intelligent design again. And how I would at best credit semi-intelligent design. Because this whole thing about your body overreacting to a perceived threat and fucking killing you, that's dumb. Who would do that? Henry Dar, weird how not many sick out of it. I think it's population density is the big thing. Because basically not many people got sick in Australia at all. You compare it to the rest of the world, even when we had the most serious waves, when there were thousands of people contracting the Rona. Still nothing compared to the rest of the world. Like, what did India get up to? 500,000 confirmed cases a day, which in real terms probably meant a bare minimum of 1 million people getting infected a day, quite possibly 2 million. I mean, it's such a huge population there, and it's so densely packed. So I think in the sparsely populated areas, it's just that there wasn't much virus at all in Australia, and you have to come into contact with people. So the more scattered the population, the less it's going to spread. No, but intelligent design, people who say when they want to say God just went click. Yes, it's creationism in a cheap suit and a comb over, basically. And I like to make fun of them because they're claiming they're not being creationists, but they fucking are. And Annette, at the end of your third cocktail, clean the kitty litter tray. Oh, it has become stinky. Oh, no. Raiders, I'm going okay. I'm just vaguing out a bit. She's funny getting to the mainland shop. Half an hour on a boat, 50-minute bus ride. Yeah, no, I could imagine that being a real fucking drag. Henry, look, the sad fact is the Rona is not going to be destroyed. It's going to be part of the annual flu cycle. So I think it's going to be more important to get an annual flu vaccine to deal with the variants that will come up every year, or a lot more people are going to die of the flu. Like, a decent chunk of people die from the flu in a normal year, but the Rona kills way more people. So if people don't get vaccinated and get annual boosters, it's going to continue to mutate and kill more people. Then there's always whatever the fuck the next thing is. Might be another century. Who knows? You know, it's a century on, you know, from the 1918 flu. And maybe it'll be a century before another big pandemic. I know the disease people don't think so. They think that we're just tap dancing through minefields, particularly with avian flu variants. And their biggest concern is factory farming of chickens in particular. They're just going, this is just a fucking disaster waiting to happen. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. No one can predict the future. Let me know, you went for COVID test and ask if you had a preferred nostril. Nice. Yeah, they definitely ask if you have a preferred arm. And they actually did it quite, like, it's quite high on my arm. See, it's quite high on my arm. And I got the left. I volunteered the left just in case the arm went funny. And I wanted, not that I write that much, like, you know, it's mainly keyboard, but sometimes I write. I like to write things. And so I went for the left arm in case the arm went funny. Hasn't yet. Nobody could be considered creationist. Don't think it was done with a snap of a finger. Look, I never had a problem, and because I grew up Catholic and whatnot, I never had a problem with people who say evolution's God's design. That's fine, so long as you don't actually argue that evolution's not real, which is what the intelligent design fuckwits do. Is Pfizer available to under 50s who meet certain criteria? That I do not know. I didn't think there was much Pfizer at all in Australia. We got heaps of AstraZeneca, so I'm getting AstraZeneca. She says that most people have 2 cars, some have 4 cars. 1,000 cars parked on the mainland side. Oh my God, that's so weird. That must be tempting for car thieves, though. They all park in the same place. Want to have good security. Oh, you do have an IGA on the island. Okay. But yeah, your main weekly shop you go over to the mainland. So you can go to the IGA for a Twix. I love that question, Eddie. Geez, do you have to do that when you want a Twix? I like that. Henry, you think there's a higher power because we cannot come from nothing. What did the higher power come from then, Henry? See, that's what I believe is the nature of existence and the origin of existence has aspects that are beyond the understanding of, I don't want to say everyone, because maybe some of the really out there theoretical scientists feel confident in understanding it, but the I know there are some quite strong scientific hypotheses that say our concept of the linear progression of time is actually wrong. That's just because that's the only way we can perceive and experience it. It isn't beginning and like time is actually cyclical. The universe is a torus, it's a donut, and it expands out and collapses back in and expands out. It's essentially, whichever way you look at it, there are aspects of existence and the beginning of existence and the end of existence that are beyond human comprehension. There are things to the best of my knowledge, everyone gets to a point where it's like, ooh, Jesus, time to start guessing, because it's just, what you again, I understand that feeling. What you're saying, Henry, about we can't come from nothing, has this feeling that intrinsically makes sense. But this is where that human perception of time having a beginning and an end, I know there are very strong scientific hypotheses around this, that's just wrong. That's not real. That's literally just how we experience and perceive it. But there are dimensions beyond what we perceive. There's the three dimensions, three physical dimensions, and time and space are dimensions. And there's people who know way more about it and way smarter than me can explain it better. But our perception, I think this is a very dominant scientific hypothesis at the moment. Our perception that time is linear and only goes in one direction is actually incorrect. But hey. Oh, yes, Raiders, I did see that. Matt Gaetz shitting himself because he's co-accused, pled guilty, which probably means turning evidence as well. That guy is so fucked. For those who don't know, he's a real fucking shitbag American Republican politician, big Donald Trump fan, and is about to get some goddamn serious criminal charges. And yes, I do like nobody what you said about the last Thursdayism theory that the world's only existed since last Thursday, including all the evidence that contradicts that, was all created last Thursday. There's perception, it's about time we nerded out about something tonight. The questions of perception, because how we perceive the world is literally just chemical and electrical stimulus in our brain. It's telling us things. And we know for a fact it regularly tells us things that are incorrect. And different people will experience the same stimulus in different ways. So the nature of reality is incredibly subjective. So it's still saying, like, last Thursday's when it was created. Well, it's like when you close the door on a room, does the room continue to exist behind that door? Because you cannot prove that it does. I'll open the door, and yeah, but the door came back into being when you open the room came back into being when you opened the door. When you close the door in the room, you cannot prove that the room continues to exist behind that door. Questions of perception. So, and it's that whole philosophy of the nature of reality, and basically, any person arguing that they have a conclusive understanding of the nature of consciousness and reality can be shot down by someone else who goes, I just found a hole in what you're saying. Nobody, the direction is gone. It's like Schrodinger's cat. The interesting thing about Schrodinger's cat, most people at least vaguely know what that is, and it's a quantum mechanics thing about how there's a cat in a box, and you can have the nice version where something either kills the cat or doesn't kill it. And until you open the box, the cat exists in both states. The nice version is there either is a bowl of food or isn't a bowl of food. So the cat's either eaten or hasn't eaten. And until you open the box, the cat exists in both states. And by observing the cat, by opening the box, you've changed the reality. And what a lot of people don't know is Schrodinger made that up because he had the shits with quantum physics. He decided it was stupid and he hated the contradictions of it. And so he did this thing with the cat because he's talking about quantum superpositions, and the cat is both alive and dead. The cat is both fed and not fed. And most people went, oh, he was being deep. No, the Schrodinger was actually saying, fuck me, I've decided I hate quantum mechanics. I fucking hate it. Because these contradictions shit me. Lee, multiverse theory is another one. Anything that can happen is happening, has happened, continues to happen. I should not be talking about such deep and complex things when my brain is not completely here. Yeah. Hooah. Yes, hog-hugging vegan. Schrodinger's cat walked into a bar and out. Now we're talking about cat opening. Oh, nobody enjoyed talking to the priest in your church. Particularly priests who've gone through like the Jesuit training, because the Jesuits were really rigorous intellectuals. And so, have really good metaphysical discussions with them. And yes, Henry, free Palestine. That would be nice if Palestinians were allowed to exist. And before any fucking lunatic, I don't think there were any fucking lunatics in this stream, but before any fucking lunatic somewhere out there senses the vibrations of what I'm saying, saying free Palestine and Palestine has a right to exist does not say that Israel doesn't have a right to exist, because I believe Israel does have a right to exist. It's a complex. Lemonhead, you did that so straight. Was Palestine having a dispute with someone? I didn't know. Annette, first time you heard multiverse theory is from a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons player in a Mexican restaurant in the 90s, all very full of sangria. Wow. Yes, and the Matrix one, Shazine Henry, are we real or in a computer program? We might just be programmed to think we're real. Oh, Henry, that's another fucking good one that I'm just absolutely unambiguous about. Free West Papua. Indonesia, get the fuck out of West Papua, you murderous fucking bastards. So that one doesn't get quite as much press, and considering it's our immediate neighbor to the north, more people should know about it. but the absolute fucking horror inflicted on West Papua by the various Indonesian regimes is fucking horrific, and something needs to be done about it. But the Australian government's always been too fucking wussy. So yes. Nobody, that's a reasonable position. You're a figment of your own imagination. If you stop thinking you exist, you'll vanish. It's the thing. But you basically find it impossible to not believe you exist. Hog hugging vegan, you agree we have no idea of reality. Take, for example, a flower, a bee, a dog, a human, can all look at the same flower, perceive it. Oh, yes. Again, perception. Absolutely. A bee's perception of a flower, a dog's perception of humans perceive totally different things. Shieldsy, we did help East Timor and then tried to fuck Timor-Leste over with the rights to sort of minerals and gas and oil in the region. And oh god, there's fucking stories behind that too. Lee, after being hit by a car, you were convinced for a time you came from a different universe as Earth. Maybe, dude. Then you woke up, truth's not true. Well, yeah, that's a bit of a paradox, nobody. You have to exist to be able to think that you exist, but you have to think you exist to continue to exist. That was it Descartes? I think, therefore I am. It's because all these philosophers, God, on one level, I want to read some of these really hardcore philosophers, and on another level, not, because they're all fucking lunatics. But yeah, it was I think, therefore I am was like the whole, what was the nature of reality? Do I really exist? And his conclusion was the act of examining whether or not I exist proves I exist. But I think he then went on to say, but I can't prove anything else exists. I think it does, but I can't prove it. Net, could be the whiskey talking. You'd love to see new buildings designed to look like bees' perception of a flower. That's a fucking incredible concept. I love it. Raiders, vaccine process was relatively seamless. I had a booking and I went a little bit early. There was no waiting. You could have just walked in. This was one of the mass vaccination centres in Melbourne. Did a little ID checking, took me through a few things. Go sit there, go talk to that person. That person takes you in. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions. Bop, vaccine. Now sit there for 15 minutes. It was good. It's very good. Henry, your eldest taught you when a butterfly's about to certain fish good to hunt. I'm not sure what that sentence means. And you've eaten too many Twix. That's you got Twix on the brain. Oh yeah, hog hugging vegan. We definitely only have a myopic representation of anything we experience. We have a very limited set of perceptions, and like bringing up a dog. A dog doesn't just have their vision like somebody. Oh, poor dogs! They only see in black and white. I think they see in slightly more than black and white, but smell is a really important sense to them, and everything has perceptions about smell, and they see smell trails. So a dog's perception is absolutely different to ours. Lemonhead, you stoned for this deep talk. Isn't that the perfect time for deep talk, when you're stoned? Damn cold in East Queensland this week. Oh, well, there you go. Nobody heard the whiskey talking for you on Friday night. Look, I might do that this Friday night. Got to work out what cocktails I'm going to make. Might just make a, because I've been thinking about doing a clarified porn star martini. So I might do that for Milk Punch Monday. And because porn star martinis are ridiculously popular. A couple guys I know are actually working as bartenders. They're just kind of like, yeah, I have to fucking make porn star martinis all night. So I've done a couple of videos on my cocktail channel about porn star martinis. I'll do some more, I think. Henry, you're just Jack and Coke? Is there? I rarely do the mixes, like, you know, whether it's whiskey and Coke or rum and Coke. So obsessed with cocktails in the last couple of years. So yeah, that's what I always want to make. And of course, highballs are cocktails as well. The ones where you add cola or ginger beer or soda or whatever. But I kind of feel like that's cheating. It's not as challenging to get a drink that tastes good if you dilute it. And again, highballs taste great. And there's a reason everyone likes highballs, because they taste great. Even just like a whiskey and soda with a good soda, a good whiskey with a good soda is really fucking nice. And you get I have to go to some upmarket Japanese bar. Like, got to go to Tokyo, go to an upmarket Japanese bar and have a Japanese whiskey highball. Henry, you do sugar-free Coke? I do Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max, sugar-free Pepsi Max. So, Shieldsy, you got a jumper on. You're cold. I mean, it's probably colder here than where you are, and I'm only wearing this shirt, but I'm inside and the heater was on. So, even though I feel a little bit cool. Oh, yes, Shieldsy, water is a good drink too. I like the occasional bit of water. Tell you what, I might try and last till 9:30, but I just feel like I am super vaguing out, and I don't know if I can do it. Henry, you love Japanese culture. Both my offspring have studied a lot of Japanese, and my daughter is doing linguistics at university and is very proficient in Japan, and they like Japanese culture. I think I'm going to go to Japan one day when we're all traveling again, in another year or two, and take them with me as translators, because I don't speak any Japanese at all. But I definitely want to go to like Tokyo, some of the big cities. Just all aspects of Japan actually would be fun. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. But yeah, go to just one of the really special Japanese bars where they have these real artisan bartenders who just make super special drinks for you. So yeah, Henry, 24 up in the Great North. Much warmer than where Shieldsy is on the island. Huh. Lemonade saying Henry's a baby at 41. I can but agree. Yes, I always forget that, Safa, how close Japan is to Russia and that part of the world. Oh yes, Raiders, Japanese master woodworkers. Well, Japanese master anything. Sword makers, woodworkers, cocktail makers. They take it really seriously. Annette, did you hear something about international borders not opening up to 2023? It's going to be fraught. Yeah, I mean, you've seen how out of control COVID is in some parts of the world, and it doesn't look like getting much better for a lot of places. Henry, Indigenous, so, oh God, most family die around 60. I have to admit, that was one of the most damning things. And it passed by with hardly any comment. And I'm just stunned that this just goes by. But when the initial round of vaccines were announced for older people, they were saying like, oh, if you're over 70, you qualify. Or if you're Indigenous, if you're over 50. And it's just like, that's how bad the health outcomes are for Indigenous Australians. And it's just out there. It's just like, yep, that's just the way it is. And it's just like, well, Jesus, we kind of should be working on that. Although, on a slightly lighter note, I love the track Briggs put out. It was about 2 years ago now. Life is Incredible. I loved it as a track. He did it with some, I think the guy doing the back vocals was English, but the it's a really nice song, and Briggs getting his groove on with the rapping, but the clip was a retirement home, and there were all these really old white people in the retirement home, and Briggs and his friends were also in a retirement home because they were in their 30s, and it was the commentary on the life expectancy of Indigenous Australians that in with the 60 and 70-year-old white people with a 30 and 40-year-old Indigenous people. Well, that is fair, Henry. You're not afraid of dying, just worried about family. Yeah, it's challenging dealing with that sort of thing. Oh, yeah, Safa, that's another thing. The fact that the federal government has completely failed to get a decent amount of vaccination through disability and aged care. Federal government just fucking suck. Shieldsy, 245 days till the big 4-0, not that you're counting down or anything. Yeah. Yep. Safra, I missed about the crappy Virgin Australian boss, but all the airlines are run by fucking pieces of shit. No ethical consumption in late-stage capitalism. No matter what you buy, you're giving money to scumbags, and it's basically not possible to exist in modern society without giving money to scumbags. You could go off and live in the hills like a wide person. Yep, Henry, all those things, cancer, kidney disease, diabetes, far too often ending up being fatal in Indigenous communities. Absolutely. Shieldsy, you're not a plane person? You're just going to stick to trains. Take the slow and steady route. Okay, now we're talking about death. I've been watching 6 Feet Under, that show from 20 years ago. Watching it with Mrs. Angry. We're halfway through season 3. It's like a 5-season show. We're halfway through season 3 at the moment. So it's just gone widescreen. The first 2 seasons from 2001 and 2002 were old square screen TV, which was a bit weird to be watching. But season 3 went into widescreen. Yes, that non-stop explorations of death and what it means. Henry, you want to get in amongst it on Friday? Friday is usually the party night, yes. Oh, and also Saturday is not a date night this week, so it might be a party night on Saturday night too. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Shieldsy, the old 4-3 ratio instead of 16-9. Yeah, it was a little bit weird, and the widescreen one's also higher def as well. You can see that it just looks a bit clearer now. No, it didn't look like it was on a crappy VHS or anything. But the widescreen one, besides being widescreen, is clearly in higher definition than the first 2 seasons. Nobody. You've done a bunch of flying and you hate it. New Zealand back 5 times, Hobart back, Newcastle shooting broken glass every time. That is a colourful metaphor. Oh, man, those corn chips are good. Okay, well, that's okay that I'm enjoying eating those. So I feel relatively normal. But I just feel waves of tiredness coming over me now. So I am going to sign off a little bit early, but I'm going to sign off because I'm just spacing out, basically. And I feel like I should go and space out in a more relaxed way, like by lying down in bed, mayhap. That could be a good idea. So, yeah, I'm going to dip out a little earlier than usual. If you follow me on the socials, I'll update on the socials tomorrow if I'm getting any full-on side effects tomorrow. No full-on, like I said, I just feel tired and vague, and that's the worst. Even the arm doesn't even hurt. Probably if I really, really poked the vaccine site, that might hurt. The arm doesn't even hurt. So I won't be on tomorrow night, but almost definitely will be on Thursday. And, have a few drinkies on a Thursday probably, because it's almost Friday, so I might as well have a drinky or two. But we'll see. Shilty, geez, getting old. I fucking am old, man. That's that. There are no alternatives. Well, there's two alternatives. I prefer the getting older one. Yeah, Henry, 9:30 might as well be midnight. So I'm gonna head off now. Oh yeah, Annette, this is another of the ones that I just arrived. So I'm still fashion parading with my shirts. There'll be another new one on Thursday night, unless I'm in a white shirt to make cocktails. I don't know, because I've still got some I haven't. I bought so many of these, so I've still got some I haven't worn on the stream yet. So I'll still be fashion parading later in the week. But you all take care. See you another time.